And let's stay on the topic of people. People being people.
They're the luckiest people in the world.
Jim, several listeners have sent this over to me. Hulk Hogan did an interview with Ariel Helwani. According to the split screen here, Eric Bischoff was there too, obviously promoting their brand new... I don't even know if it's theirs, actually. Apparently it's the guy who put up the money for the Ric Flair drink and the Hulk Hogan... Like, it's a guy who puts up money for all sorts of, like, old wrestlers to have branding on projects. This is his thing. And here's Hulk Hogan, play this audio, why he thinks fans are booing him. It's been a big story. He started getting booed a while back, but it really blew up after that Raw in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Let's hear some audio here and get your thoughts on this.
You're in a real interesting point in your life and career, because I think that there's a sector of people who were with you in the 80s, who rided with you, who will always ride with you and always support you. And obviously there are some fans who don't feel that same way anymore, who have turned against you, and we see you at Raw and they boo you when you come out. But then there are other fans who want to support your beer or whatever product that you're attached to. How do you feel, without beating around the bush, how do you feel about your relationship with the public right now, your relationship with the people, especially coming off the last time we saw you on a major stage was that Netflix show back in January at the Intuit Dome?
Well, they're still nipping at my heels. I can go out there and get booed. As actually the last time I was in LA, I was Hollywood Hogan with a black beard and doing the...
I should pause there as it buffered, but that was a good point to stop it. Was he Hollywood Hogan in Los Angeles?
No! He was. No, he came out with Jimmy Hart waving the fucking flag.
That's right.
Dressed in his gold and red attire and trying to be a real American, and they were booing the shit out of him. He's trying to claim that he has the people in the palm of his hand where he can be a bad guy. He's like doing like the Rock shit. I can go out and be a bad guy and they'll boo me, and I can go out and be a good guy and they'll cheer me, because I'm controlling this, rather than, no, I've been so full of shit for so long and done and said so many stupid things in public and on tape that a lot of the people don't like me anymore. He can't say that, so he's got to act like he's in charge of it.
Well, let's go back to the Hulkster. Talking to Ariel Helwani on the Ariel Helwani show.
Especially coming off the last time we saw you on a major stage was that Netflix show back in Intuit Dome.
Well, they're still nipping at my heels. I can go out there and get booed. As actually the last time I was in LA, I was Hollywood Hogan with a black beard and doing the bad guy thing. I can go out there and get booed in LA, or The Rock can get booed in LA, or John Cena gets booed in LA. But when I get booed, there's a whole different reaction media-wise. For some reason, I've laid some type of groundwork that people are still interested in.
For some reason,
I've laid some kind of groundwork. Yes, you get booed more than The Rock and John Cena because the people legitimately don't like you. They are booing The Rock because they're kind of pissed at him for screwing up their WrestleMania. And they're booing John Cena because they know it's a work. But with Hogan, they're booing him to say, you are full of shit. Please stop lying out your ass. We are tired of you. But
what I'm doing is
I've laid this groundwork where I've done so many stupid and offensive things that it's really working out for me now.
Well, I keep thinking about what Shelton referenced the other day in the tweet back about how Hogan should stop mentioning his name. When he had to apologize in the locker room for being caught on tape, it wasn't just that he said the N-word. It was that, I think the conversation was like, we're all racist. Like, it was just like some kind of crazy declaration. Usually people don't just declare themselves to be racist. He did. And then his apology to the locker room was like, don't get caught. Be careful what you do.
You're all public figures. You got to be careful what you do because there's somebody waiting out there with a recorder.
Well, let's go back to the Hulkster here.
And so for those that are on the team and are riding with the train to the station, that's great. For those that are the haters and still have a problem with me, there's nothing I can do to fix that except, just keep proving by my actions that, I'm still in the game. I'm still pushing hard. I took a lot of time off because I had like 25 surgeries and I was down for a long time. And, I've always loved the hunt. I've always loved to get back in the game, but it's always been that way with me because my whole career, I had that top spot no matter what it was. Even through the 80s, it was the fastest draw.
Let me stop for a second. Are the people booing him because they're jealous of his spot?
Yes, he goes, I've always been on top, even in the 80s, and he's got to go back. And again, it's always been, I'm the greatest. And he's just so full of it. He's just so, I mean, everybody has a big ego if you're a star, but you don't have to just slap people in the face with it constantly about how it's all me and I did this and I was going to be in Metallica and I was going to be George Foreman and I was going to be this and that. It's just too much.
Well, let's go back. We have more from the Hulkster.
During the 80s, it was just a situation where everybody was knocking me. Everybody was trying to knock me off that top spot. I'll trade that for not being on the bottom of the card, if you know what I'm saying, or being on the bottom of the pile of life. So for me, it's just part of the territory. I mean, it's kind of like, when you get booed and then you get 3.2 billion engagements all of a sudden, and then you rock that whole world in LA with how much interaction there was on the internet. I'll take it.
Okay, so
let me stop for a second. The interaction was Hulk Hogan's a racist liar. I want him off my TV. That was the reaction from people. I'll take it. 3.2 billion people said that.
Well, but to be fair, they asked a couple people twice.
Well, there's a little more here. Let's stop for a second. He takes accountability for nothing he's ever done.
Well, and that was the problem with the apology speech for the WWF locker room that was supposed to be an apology speech and was instead, hey, guys, don't get caught. I know I'm a big star and all the attention was on me, but it can happen to you too.
Let's go back.
They didn't like that apology. They were expecting to hear something like, I'm sorry I used that language. I know some of you were uncomfortable or something like that.
Could have said anything. Could have said anything other than don't get caught. Make sure your best friend isn't filming you when you fuck his wife. That's the thing I really want you all walking out of here thinking about. Let's go back to this.
And by the way, and if that does happen, and who doesn't find themselves in that position every once in a while, don't make racist comments on the tape.
How was Hulk Hogan? Was he good with pillow talk? Oh, he was putting down every single fucking race and gender there is. Let's go back.
He hates the Italians.
Let's go back to Hulk Hogan talking to Ariel Helwani on the Ariel Helwani Show.
After that, you didn't view that as some sort of like indictment on the state of your career, how people feel about you. You felt like they were just booing the character.
Oh, no. All the above. There are certain people that, boo the character. There are certain WWE superstars that had an opinion and they had advice for me. But I would like to ask those same guys when I go to New York or Chicago and the people cheer, out of the rooftops, I would like to know what their advice is then and what their opinion is. So it's a double-edged sword with me. And it's always been that way. It's part of the character. It's part of, me personally. It's part of my professional life. It's part of my personal life.
Let me stop it for a second. What the fuck is he talking about?
I don't know. I was hoping I'd find out.
It's all the above. I mean, and at the end of the day, I'm just like an old scarred up seal with a bunch of scars on me. And I'm really relatable to most normal people because a lot of people have been through a lot of stuff I have professionally. A lot of people have made not the same mistakes, but personally made mistakes. And I'm still relatable to so many people. If they boo me, fine. If they're on the team lead, that's great too. So not hating on anybody, brother. I'm still here. I'm still moving forward. And it's kind of like the old Rocky movie. It depends on how hard you can get hit, get back up and keep moving forward. And brother, I'm always leaning into the wind.
Well, that's the end of that. Let me just encourage Hulk Hogan. I agree. You got to lean into it. Make more appearances. You mentioned New York and Chicago. Hit those markets next.
Yes.
They seem to be big fans of yours. I would love to see the live reaction in New York and Chicago, and then maybe do a Southwest swing.